and welcome to Friday Foot Club. Today we're going to look at the direction our feet point and how we land when we walk or run. So when we're standing, we should be pointing our feet straight ahead, and also when we're walking or running. Some of us might stand with our feet a little bit turned out or turned in, so we want to get them as close to straight ahead as we can without causing ourselves other issues. We may have to stretch things to get that to work better. And our foot is right underneath our hip bones here. So there's a hip bone at the front or the middle of your thigh, and they're straight under that. So not out there and not in there, especially when you're standing for any length of time. Now we'll look at what happens when we walk. We will land on our heel as we walk and then roll off the foot to the forefoot and then continue on with the other leg. And that's fine because there isn't a lot of pressure on your heel when you land it because your weight is still on your other leg. However, when you run, there is that forward motion, which means a lot of your weight is already transferred into the heel if you struck the floor with your heel. So if we land our midfoot when we run, we have a lot less pressure. So if you land on the heel, you'll often have issues running right up the back of the leg into the lower back and maybe even up further. So we'll try not to land on the heel when we run, but land on the midfoot. Now you do want your heel to touch the floor, so when you've landed your midfoot, you want your heel to touch or kiss the floor. So we're going to try and do that in slow motion and then obviously add it into our running. So we'll lift the heels, doesn't really matter how high, and then tip or kiss the floor. Lift the heels and kiss the floor. And you can do that quite slowly, or you can start to, if you feel you have balance and you can do it softly, go a little bit faster. So we tip the floor with our heel, softly touching, but not creating that jarring feeling through the back of the legs. If you're landing too hard, you will get this reverberation going up to wherever you already have other tightnesses. So you may have an injury here, and by landing on your heel you're going to aggravate this. So if that's the case, then you want to work on this. In particular, you also obviously want to look at what's going on in the original place that you have an injury. We'll then add in a little bounce. So we're going to lift our heel, but we'll also lift our foot. So that would be very similar to what will happen when you run. And as you can see, I'm on concrete. And there shouldn't be any pressure through my legs. I should be able to bounce on concrete if I'm using the springs in my legs. And I've got some arches in my foot. Two, one, your obvious arch, and then one across the other direction. I've also got the Achilles tendon at the back, which acts like the top of a biro. So right now I'm using the top of the biro, or the Achilles tendon, to create this bounce. So I'm not putting any pressure through my joints. I have soft knees. I'm not putting any pressure up through my hips or back. So a little bounce, and then you can obviously add to that a knee bend and run.